Hey everyone! Hope you're having an amazing day. It's Code Karen. Welcome to Reddit Stories, where we have 2 incredible stories with comments. If you are new to this channel, a sub would be great. Tap that notification bell. Let's jump right in. Am I the idiot for telling my family that my sister stole from our father? She's asking me to keep his death a secret. My life has been a train wreck for the past couple of months, but bear with me. My dad passed away 2 months ago. I took care of him, practically by myself, for over a year. I put my career on hold and moved in with him. My mom passed away 8 years ago, and since then, it's just been my dad, me, and my older sister. Our relatives live far away, and we don't see them that often. My sister kept promising that she would move into the house and help me take care of our dad, as he was very ill and needed to have someone with him at all times. Both his physical and mental health were deteriorating. Well, this never happened, and I got zero help from her. It got to the point that I was so exhausted and depressed that I went to see a doctor. She told me I needed a break, even if it was just for a little while to recoup and take a breather. I begged my sister to help me with our dad because I couldn't do it alone anymore. That was roughly 6 months before he passed away. She came over once for 20 minutes to talk to him, then left with his bank card to go grocery shopping. Sure, she bought him the groceries on his list, but what she hid from him, on a separate receipt, was hundreds of dollars of online purchases she bought for herself with his money. Due to his declining mental state, he never noticed the extra missing money in his account. I ended up taking over my dad's finances and kept a spreadsheet to make sure every penny was accounted for. I also set every bill in his name up for autopay, so he wouldn't have to fumble around with his checkbook anymore. All of this was suggested by my dad, as he knew his mind wouldn't be there much longer, and he didn't want me to stress over missing any payments. So, skip forward to now. 2 months since his passing, and I just found out that my sister not only closed his bank accounts, but also cleaned out the money in his accounts before we even started with probate. I found this out because I was getting notices about bills not being paid from companies that we had set for autopay. Now, I have close to $4,000 owed for bills that were supposed to be paid, and I'm scared of being booted out of the house for non-payment of the mortgage. My sister also has the only copies of his will and other important documents from the safety deposit box that I need. Through this whole process, my sister has been repeatedly telling me not to tell our extended family of Dad's passing until everything has been settled. She told me that it was all a misunderstanding with the bank accounts and that she has everything under control. I was stupid enough to believe her when she said she found a probate lawyer right after he passed away. No surprise, but she ghosted me and has since been ignoring my attempts at contact. I decided to no longer stay silent and told my relatives what has been going on. Everyone is furious with my sister. After causing things to go nuclear, I am feeling like I'm the idiot for getting my relatives involved in our family drama. I am still grieving my father's death, and my sister seems to be dancing on his grave. Let's head to the comments. DaisyChain88 says, "Not the idiot. It sounds like your sister didn't care about your dad unless she got something out of his estate, and what she did is outright stealing. Don't brush it off because she's your sister. She's only in it for herself." The sad part is that this could take a while to work through the court system, and you'll be spending all your money on lawyers. So I would make a last-ditch effort and tell her you were going to see a lawyer and the police. And the only thing that will stop you is if she puts all the funds right back into an account immediately, and then make it very clear this is non-negotiable. LESPNW says, "When someone asks you to keep a secret like this, it's almost always for devious reasons. Your family needed to be told about your sister and what she was doing to your father's memory, not to mention his estate. The family has a right to know, not the idiot. Who by Water says, having witnessed this in my family, all I can say is that it makes family members turn on each other and do awful things. Valuables and money seem to disappear overnight. Siblings fight over wills and then never speak to each other for years. I tried too hard to keep the peace in my family and didn't speak up. Big mistake. I don't have any problem about taking legal action against your sister. She stole from your dad, your family, and you. She deserves what the legal system does to her. Your sister stole from your father while he was alive also. I am glad you told your family. Why should you cover for your sister's criminal behavior? Do not feel bad for a second. She is the terrible person. Pay respect and honor to your father by doing what's right. Put her sorry butt in jail. Our next story is, am I the idiot? Leaving my bio daughter behind at the airport while my new family boarded the plane? This sounds bad, but allow me to explain. I share custody of my daughter with my ex-wife. She is 14 years old, and I also have a 7 and 9-year-old with my new wife. After many years, my wife and I are finally in a position to take some time and travel. We planned an international vacation for the very first time. It was expensive, but we saved up for it. I got the okay from my ex, and my daughter will be going with us. She has gone on one trip with her mother before when she was younger, and therefore already has a passport. My ex told me that the passport has not expired, but she wanted to hold on to it. I wasn't going to argue over this pettiness and didn't press the issue any further. Fast forward, and we are all at the airport. When we go to validate our tickets, I was horrified to learn that my daughter's passport was set to expire in 2 weeks, and the airline said she couldn't get on the flight. It has to be valid for at least 6 months prior to an international flight. We had a huge blow up. My younger kids are crying, my wife is furious, and my bio daughter is in tears. There was no way we were going to miss that flight, because we would have lost all the money we saved for years for this trip of a lifetime. I had to make the toughest decision of my life. I decided to go ahead with the trip and called my father to take my daughter home. I originally wanted to stay behind as well, but my wife said she wasn't going without me. Naturally, my daughter was very upset, and I promised to take her on another trip once her passport was renewed. But obviously, that wasn't going to make her feel any better. We went on the trip, and I was miserable the whole time, knowing that I had left my daughter behind. Since returning, my daughter has refused to see me and is not talking to me. My ex is not helping this situation either by telling her that I abandoned her, and she doesn't blame her for not wanting to have anything to do with me. At the time, I thought I was making the best decision for my family, but now I'm thinking that I made the wrong choice. Was I the idiot for leaving my daughter and taking the trip without her? Let's head to the comments. Purple says, not the idiot. Your ex behaved horribly. She refused to hand over the passport until the day of travel and flat out lied about the expiration date. At the end of the day, there was no way that your daughter was going to get on that plane. I think you did the best you could under the circumstances and did the one thing that would negatively impact the least number of family members. If your ex has a shred of decency, she'd explain that your daughter was prevented from going on that trip because of a mistake she made. Maybe you could take a special trip with your daughter as you promised. She'll come around, as kids most often do. Vitilster says, everyone stinks here, except your daughter, who had nothing to do with 2 parents who are idiots. But mostly it's your ex, who absolutely messed this up royally for your daughter. She had the passport all this time and knew that it was just about to expire. This meant that her daughter would be barred from traveling. I'd bet anything that your ex-wife did this intentionally. And you, the idiot, but very lightly. Because you could have canceled the trip, but it's very understandable why you didn't. I think the best thing you can do is probably try to make it up to your daughter. I agree. I think your daughter should pick out a place for the two of you to travel to and make it a daddy-daughter vacation. I think your daughter is too young to realize that her mom sabotaged this trip, just to get back at you for some reason. So sad. Hey Code Karen community, what would you do in this situation? I'd love to hear your comments. See you in the next story.